For more on the situation and what's likely to happen going forward from here, we're now being joined by Hilayat Barrell, the former director of the National Security Council at Israel. Hilayat, thank you so much for joining us in what must be such a trying time for all of you. Just wanted to get your sense on what is likely to unfold in the days and weeks ahead. What's going to be the immediate item on the agenda?
Well, for Israel, still the most immediate items on the agenda is continuing to secure the southern part, where we have to make sure that we have cleared all Hamas terrorists that have infiltrated. And at this point, that is not or never has been a simple task, going house to house, area to area, being alert to any suspicious reports, roadblocks in a lot of places so that they can't get out of a certain perimeter. In addition, obviously, Gaza. The operation in Gaza, the war, the retaliation. Basically, the message is to go out and get all of Hamas, eradicate this organization, which will also not be a quick and easy thing, because this time we're about to be very methodical and make sure that that task is actually fully completed. So Gaza is not going to be a 2-day and done kind of situation. It's going to take longer. We have a lot of stamina for it. It's going to be a while. But at the same time, as you know, there's a northern front in Israel. Hezbollah has been involved in all sorts of skirmishes with Israel. There's very high alert on the border.
The other aspect, which is, I'm sure Israel must be worrying about, are, of course, the hostages. It's not completely known how many hostages there are, what condition they're being held in, and what might happen to them. So what would be your sense on the efforts that could be made to try and save them or get them back?
Of course, the hostages are at the front of our mind. The IDF has already notified over 100 people, families, that their loved ones are confirmed hostages, have crossed the fence, and has continued to work on the absolute identification of the number and, of course, identity of those people. The nation is extremely anxious about the well-being of those people. We are talking about children's babies, sometimes under one. We hear they're separated from their parents. We already know what the crimes are that are going on. Needless to say, that is going to be and is very high on our list of priorities.
So it's going to be a very difficult situation in Gaza, because there are three things that are happening. Israel wants to go into Gaza or try and make sure that Hamas is destroyed, while at the same time you've got to worry about the security and the safety of the hostages. And number three is the question of the civilian population there in Gaza, Palestinians who are there, the Palestinian children out there. You don't want images coming out of them being killed or harmed, or as far as possible. So multiple issues will have to be kept in mind there.
Absolutely. And I think one of the reasons Israel, there are many reasons, unfortunately, one of the reasons that Israel found itself with this level of capacity within Hamas is Israel's extreme concern for the civilian population in Gaza. So our retaliation has always been extremely tailored and restrained. But this time, we will not see the same kind of situation, for the very reason that the rule of laws not only allow for, but require a state to take care of its citizens and their security. The threat from Hamas, as we have seen it, is so massive. We will do what we have to do, and we will eradicate Hamas. And we will do what a nation does when it defends its very survival. And having seen what happened down south, there can be no question this is a matter of survival.
So when it comes to the specific situation out there, what Israel seems to be saying is move south of a particular line, move south of the Wadi Gaza, in other words, and that's the solution. But it's not going to be easy or a quick process moving 1 million people south of that line.
It's not going to be quick, and it's not going to be easy. And none of this situation is easy. It is a complex situation. Having said that, we have to remember Hamas attacking Israel, and Hamas is responsible in the Gaza Strip. They never stopped to give people any opportunity to move from one line to another. They have intentionally, deliberately, with vengeance, surrendered civilians, mostly civilians. They have no care for military targets.
One last question, the possibility of this spiraling onto a wider front. You were speaking about Hezbollah in Lebanon, of course. Israel's bombed a couple of airports in Syria as well. What do you think the chances are that this could escalate into a broader conflict?
Well, I think if we analyze this rationally, it shouldn't escalate into a broader conflict because Hezbollah and Iran have everything to lose.
All right. Thank you so much. Hirat Barrett, former director at Israel's National Security Council. Thank you so much for joining us for that.
Thank you.